The false people are new. Hello, thank you for being here with me again. I hope you are all doing very well. Before we proceed with today's subject, I'd like to add a few comments. I had to reload my last video in English called Formation of a Matrix because YouTube flagged it as inappropriate because of one of those little videos I place inside as background because of a copyright issue, even though they are all supposed to be free for everyone to use. My point is that those little videos, in the end, are not important because my information is presented to you as a podcast and those videos in the background are only ornaments, even though I always choose them to be as relevant to the information as possible. What is important is the voice, and I've been looking for the best and most harmonious one I can find and allowed to use, and I'm doing all I can to improve it. Whenever possible, I will place inside videos or images that are truly important for the subject at hand, but I cannot share those in every video because of the rhythm I upload them. They are hard to make, they are very time consuming, and I have a lot to say and share. Moving on to today's subject. The concept of false people has been in the public's attention for some time now, and as far as I know, one of the people who made the subject popular was Dolores Cannon, so I will be using her as a base for those concepts. Yet, they have been presented by her and by my predecessors almost as a fixed attribute of some people and not as something that may be intermittent. Sometimes they are false, and other times they are not, depending on the angle or the point of view we may understand them or even observe them. All that exists is potential energy in the ethers, the same thing anyway, and it is through the lens of consciousness that it takes a defined shape, but that will only be valid from the point of view and through the interpretations of that consciousness, through its values, perception agreements, and thoughts. So the same way we interpret a chair, a lamppost, or a mountain as part of the world that surrounds us, we also interpret energy as other people, because that is how we perceive the world to be, or said differently, that is how we shape the energy we interpret through the lens of our mind and consciousness. The basic concept of false people states that most of the ones that surround us are just energy projections and creations of our minds, and there is no one inside them. They would be as lifeless and as hollow as a telephone booth, and it is only our preconceived ideas that make us take for granted that there must be someone in this, or in that other body. We see and interpret the world that surrounds us with the context our perception is in, so if we have a body, then those others must also be inhabited by more souls. As I've explained before, there is only spirit world and the material world is only illusory from an expanded point of view. As Dolores Cannon said, we are all creating the false people around us. That's how powerful our minds are. When we walk down the street, we encounter countless people we've never seen before and most probably will never see again. It is only we who give them any attributes, as in they must have a life and I just don't know who they are, not really taking seriously the possibility that they literally disappear around the corner, once they are out of our sight. We may say, but if I run and catch up with them I will see that they are still there, so they must be real people. But as Dolores Cannon says, it is only us who is manifesting them again, and giving them important attributes and so on. This is also for store clerks whom we may even talk to, but never progress any further than the purchase of the chewing gum we wanted, as an example. This Dolores Cannon-based concept may sound like a cruel and very egocentric and even narcissistic point of view about other people, as in we are the only ones that exist and the whole world, or universe is ours and is only a direct projection of our minds. So this direct theory about the false people meets with a lot of resistance in general. We may all fall into resistance against this theory because, in our direct experience, we may clearly see that true souls are inhabiting those other bodies. But from an objective point of view, with what we know from a much more expanded point of understanding, view and interpretation, we are all one soul. We are the source itself using the body as a lens to have a limited experience, as the all also includes the limited. Facing this, and from our incarnated point of view, it does generate feelings of loneliness. But in the end, these can be seen as just ideas and concepts that may or may not reflect the real world around us. It depends on what we choose to believe. But seen from a very practical point of view, of what the false people concept means to us in our daily lives, it can help us cope with everything going on around us. There is only a very small group of people who are really significant to us in our lives, the rest is irrelevant, or are just people whom we may have to deal with every day and that we may not even like. But just notice all the time and energy that is spent thinking about these others, who and what they are and what they may be up to, and what those others may be thinking about us. We may even build or construct our self-esteem, or value around what those irrelevant others may be telling us, or with how we interpret what those are saying about us. But remember that the people around us will only treat us as we treat ourselves and as we condition them to treat us. But when talking about people who are total strangers, or that we hardly know, worrying about what they think about us, or about anything that has to do with us is a total waste of time and emotional energy. I must tell you the hard truth, my friends. They don't care. They don't care about your suffering and hardship, and neither do they about your achievements. And this is how you can tell your real friends from those who are fake ones, or none at all. The real ones will be by your side, no matter how you are feeling, no matter what you may be thinking about yourself, and will do their best to comfort and help you when you are in need, and will also celebrate your greatest achievements with you in true loving honesty. You may be asking yourself if you are a false person or not. Never ever dare worry about that, because the very fact that you are questioning if you are one or not unequivocally means you are a real person with a soul. Then you may also be thinking if you are an unreal person for someone else. You are the one who is making up that theory in your mind. It is not that other person you hypothetically may be thinking about. It is coming from you, and if you are imagining what that other person is thinking, you become that other person from the point of view of who is observing. That means you. Then we may think that it is unfair to label someone as an unreal person. You don't have to. We must treat everyone with equal respect as if they all were real, also because that is also a reflection of who we are. But then there are those who treat us badly or wrongly, and I would strongly suggest you defend yourself if you need to, if it is justified, and not feel bad about it. But if those who offended us are among the irrelevant people in our lives, calm your mind and do not give them any unnecessary attention or importance. Do not give them more energy, and like that, they will dissipate back into the ether. Silence and indifference are powerful messages for anyone who may oppose you. You must command respect from those people. Don't ask for respect, command it. You don't have to be aggressive, you must remain a mystery, with much of who and what you are always in the unknown, therefore remaining dangerous to their eyes. Above everything, be respectful towards yourself and to your principles, and that is how people will treat you as well. But what exactly are the false people anyway? It is said that they are projections of the matrix itself, as the result of the collective manifestation of that matrix, or any other existential realm, also as holographic projections within an artificial world system, much as the so-called NPCs in a video game, NPC standing for non-player character. Another way of understanding the false people is to notice how those follow all the rules and obey everything they are told in a neurotic manner. they think and act as their social role expects and dictates to them, and when confronted with any new concepts, ideas, or things to do that fall outside of their social programming, they become confused, blame you for saying nonsense, and will do anything possible to return to their sterile routine. I'm quite sure every one of you out there has encountered many people who behave in that way, almost as if they were missing a brain. But it is the point of view of our experience in life that really counts, so it is up to each one of us to decide whether some person is an NPC or not, and it is not necessary either. But as a spiritual concept, it can help us understand that we don't need to waste our time and energy on people who are truly irrelevant to our lives. Thank you for listening to my video. Take care, and I hope to see you here next time. With much love. Your friend, Mari Swaruu.